Afi is a quiet, charming village in the Vilayat of Wadi Al Maawil. Although it's less than an hour's drive from Muscat, it remains surprisingly unknown to tourists. At the heart of this place lies Hujrat al Sheikh, a historic fortified settlement once protected by high earthen walls, watchtowers, and old wooden gates. Walking through it today feels like stepping into a different time. Only recently, the area has been carefully restored, and a heritage walkway now connects its narrow lanes and historic structures, making it much easier to explore. But what truly makes this place special is how effortlessly it blends history with everyday life. Here, cultural heritage meets natural surroundings. And visitors are welcomed with the warmth of traditional Omani hospitality, often through freshly prepared local delicacies. Despite the presence of greenery and an oasis nearby, the weather here can be quite intense. But interestingly, that doesn't seem to keep people away. As of now, entry to the Heritage Walkway is free, making it an easy and inviting place to explore at your own pace. As you walk through, you will notice a variety of fruit trees lining the path, including some, like custard apples, that are not very commonly found in Oman. It gives you a small but meaningful glimpse into the local farming traditions that still continue here. There's a small bird sanctuary here, which has a separate entry fee. Running quietly alongside is a Safalah, an ancient irrigation channel that flows through the Hujrat al Sheikh quarter. This falaj feeds the surrounding date palms and gardens, bringing life to the entire area and creating a scene that feels both peaceful and timeless. There is one tree here that you simply should not miss. It's believed to be the oldest jackfruit tree in Oman, locally known as Al Fanas. Around 263 years ago, this tree was brought here all the way from Zanzibar by Sayyid Hamad bin Ahmad al-Busaidi. At that time, Oman and Zanzibar were part of the same empire under the Al-Busaidi rule, and this tree stands as a small but living reminder of that connection. For many decades, this remained the only jackfruit tree in the entire country, and since jackfruit was unfamiliar to the locals back then, even its strong fragrance became part of the local folklore. There is an old saying here, "The fruit smell betrays the thief." People believe that anyone trying to steal from the tree at night would be easily caught, simply because the sweet scent could travel far across the still dark orchards. You'll also notice that the tree was planted right next to the falaj, a simple yet thoughtful choice that shows the ingenuity of the village's ancestors. Jackfruit trees need a lot of water to survive, and placing it near a constant water source allowed it to thrive even in this harsh, dry climate. We arrived on a Friday evening and left around 7 p.m., just as the place was beginning to come alive. Stalls were being set up, and I noticed women bringing in authentic Omani dishes and beautifully handcrafted items carefully arranging them for the night ahead. If you're planning a visit, evenings are when this place truly comes alive, and during the cooler months, it would be far more comfortable to explore.
كل شيء باين في انتو؟
ايوه كل شيء.
بديكم لو ان حد جاي يقابلكم بس رايحات هني مش ينزل. بيض بطاطس. لا ما في
خلاص حولت عليك ما
While the Heritage Walkway offers a slow and relaxed experience, there is a deeper layer to this place that makes it truly special. At the center of it all is Hujrat al-Sheikh. This historic complex is surrounded by a defensive wall and was once guarded by 4 fortified towers at its corners. Entry into the settlement was carefully controlled through multiple gates, including the main war gate, which still stands today, marked by its traditional Omani design and heavy iron spikes. Its most recent major renovation is attributed to Sheikh Mohammed bin Al Maawil. The structure as we see it today is believed to be around 300 years old, but its story goes much further back. Experts from the Ministry of Heritage and Tourism have traced its origins to as early as 950 AD, making it one of the oldest surviving fortified settlements in this region. And Hujrat al-Sheikh was never just a cluster of homes behind protective walls. It was a center of life, an administrative hub, and a place where the community gathered, lived, and functioned together. The settlement itself was thoughtfully organized. It was divided into 2 main sections. The upper section held around 15 homes where families once lived, while the lower section was dedicated to services and daily activities that supported the community. The layout itself was designed with security in mind. The residential areas were separated from service spaces using fortified elements, while the surrounding walls, watchtowers, and main gate together formed a strong defensive system. There was even a Quranic school here, where boys and girls from Afi came to learn and recite the Quran, a tradition that continued for many decades. Another important space was the Safalah, the traditional Omani meeting hall. The Safalah maintained connections with leaders and authorities in places like Muscat and Nizwa, linking the small fortified village to the larger network of governance across Oman. At the center of the settlement lies a spacious courtyard. This was once home to 3 large tamarind trees. One of them was especially massive with a thick aged trunk, but it was lost during Cycle Gonu. One detail that really caught our attention was a preserved section of the old northern wall, built using traditional Omani construction techniques. To protect it from erosion, the wall has now been enclosed in glass, allowing visitors to observe the original craftsmanship up close while ensuring it remains preserved for the future. One place we could not visit was Beit Al Ghasham Museum, which is another key attraction here. It closes by 12 p.m. on Fridays, so we missed the chance to step inside. What makes Hujrat Al Sheikh remarkable is not just its age, it's how complete it was. Within these enclosed walls was an entire self-sustained world where daily life, defense, agriculture and community all moved as one. Today, the Heritage Walkway brings these different parts together, making Afi a fascinating place to explore on foot.